Okay, you guys ready for today?
Yeah.
All right, let me go ahead and clear this up. Now we're gonna go ahead and start solving systems of equations. Now, this is building you guys up for or preparing you guys for what we have next, which is an application activity, or we're gonna apply what we've learned so far. But I want to make sure that we learn or we recall that information on solving equations, which is what we've been doing so far. We've been writing two equations that are either parallel or perpendicular to each other. But this time we're going to go ahead and solve equations so that we can go ahead and identify where exactly that intersection happens. Now, parallel lines here, are they going to ever intersect? No. So the ones that are going to intersect are perpendicular or anything with the slope other than parallel. So today we're going to go ahead and see all of the equations, and then we're going to go ahead and focus on perpendicular and then also parallel. So we can go ahead and identify where exactly does the intersection happen? Where do they meet? Where do they cross each other, specifically if they have different slopes here? So today we're going to go ahead and focus on just graphing. I wanted to go through the three ways today, but we didn't have enough time during our last period. So we're going to go ahead and just focus on one method. And then tomorrow we're going to go ahead and focus on the other two. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you guys now with the different methods of solving systems of equations. Systems is basically like a group or two equations or more. And its solution is basically the point where all of those equations or those lines meet. There's three ways. One way that we're going to see today is graphing. A second way is by substitution, and a third way is by elimination. Go ahead and copy this down in your notebook so you can have it, guys. So systems of equations, graphing, substitution, and elimination. We're going to go step by step on each of the equations or each of the ways that we have here. With that said, let me go ahead and give you guys graphing paper since we're going to be graphing. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and so go ahead and graph or use one of your graphs, guys. It doesn't matter which one, as long as you know which one is example number one. We have graphing, our first equation or our set of equations. We have y equals negative 2x plus 2 and y equals negative 1/2 x minus 4. Now, in order for us to find the solution, their intersection, we're going to go ahead and solve this one by graphing. All right, everybody has this? No worries. So y equals negative 2x plus 2 and y equals negative 1/2 x minus 4. It should be easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay. And if I can get further with you guys, then I'll go ahead and go further. But so far, we're going to focus on graphing today. So graphing. What method are these equations written as? Slope-intercept. So slope-intercept means that we have y equals, let me go ahead and do it using a different color. Let me use blue for my first equation. Y equals mx plus b. Now, last time I told you guys that my b is going to represent what? My y-intercept. So that's where we're going to go ahead and start. My mx is going to represent my slope, or just my m. It's my beautiful slope. Now I'm going to go ahead and use those two items or those two parts so we can go ahead and graph our beautiful equation. What's my starting point? At 2. So let's go ahead and graph it at 2. Let me do this in blue. And what is my beautiful slope? Negative 2. So therefore, I'm going to go up or down? Down 1 or 2? 2, and then to my left or right? To the right. 1. Down 2. To the right 1. Down 2 to the right 1, and continue that same beautiful pattern. Now, if I want to go the opposite direction, I have to go up how many spaces? 2, and to the left 1. Up 2, to the left 1, up 2, to the left 1, and so on and so forth. Now, once I've graphed the entire values or the parameters that I have here on my graph, I can go ahead and establish my line. Now, right in front of you guys, you should have rulers somewhere around your desk. Go ahead and use those as your straight edge so you can go ahead and create that beautiful, perfect line. Don't try to do this by hand because obviously some of the intersections might be a little bit off. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and graph the second graph. In what format is this written as? Slope intercept. So y equals mx plus b. Let's go ahead and identify my beautiful slope and my y-intercept. Let's see, Josue, what is my beautiful y-intercept? -4. And let's see, Andres, help him out. Find your beautiful slope. -1/2. So my slope is -1/2. So where do we start from here? Let's see, Yanni. We're gonna go ahead and start at -4 on my y-axis. Now, from here, we're gonna go ahead and continue on by using what? My slope. Let's see, Marie, what's my slope here? -1/2. So what do I do next? Down 1 and 2 to the left. Down 1 and 2 to the left. To the right, sorry, to the right. 1 down, 2 to the right. You guys understood what it's I did it, I just didn't say it right. 1 down, 2 to the right. 1 down, 2 to the right. No, go back. Yes, right is to where your right is. Okay, now, if I don't see the intersection, guys, then I'm going to go ahead and continue to do the same procedure until I find where they intersect. But in this case, they already intersected somewhere down there. I went 3. Let me go ahead and fix my graph. Perfect. And continue with the same pattern. Now, this time I'm going to go ahead and graph it. It goes this way. And it intersects. Now, solving a system of equation means that we're going to go ahead and identify where do these two equations equal each other? Where do they intersect when graphing? What coordinate did my two graphs intersect? We're going to take our x coordinate, 4, and our y coordinate is at -6. So the solution or the intersection happens when x equals 4 and y equals -6. So it's going to be a coordinate, or we can have both the x value and the y value present here. But my solution will always be a beautiful coordinate, 4, -6. Does it make sense? Okay. All right. Let me save this. Ready? All right, everybody has this? Perfect. Let's go ahead and try example number 2. Y equals 4x plus 10. And y equals -1/2 x minus 7. Go ahead and graph this one. Let's see what you guys get. All right, so how do I graph my first equation? Y equals 4x plus 10. Brennan, help me out. Where do I start? So start with our y-intercept, mx plus b. And what is my beautiful y-intercept for my first equation? Positive 10. So we are going to start up here. Now, my slope is, pass it on, Brendan. Who? Diego? I bet Diego. What is my beautiful slope? 4. Now, my parameters on my beautiful graph don't allow me to go any more spaces up. Therefore, what can I do? I can go the opposite way, which is down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then instead of going to the right, we're going to go to the left. So here's my next point. Now I'm going to repeat that process. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1 to the left. Repeat that process. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 to the left. Repeat that process. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 to the left. And last one, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 to the left. Now, a way to check if our slope is positive, guys. You notice that this was your second point that you graphed. You can check if you can follow through with this slope. So you were supposed to go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 to the right. And it follows through with that beautiful slope pattern. Okay. Yes. Because your slope is positive. So usually, whenever you have, let's say my slope here is 4 over 1, right? Which means that I rise and I go to the right 1. But I cannot rise. So therefore, if I fall, instead of going to the right, I'm going to go to the left. So I have to go do the opposite. Opposite. It makes it up. So it makes it. It follows through. Okay. Now, let's see. Diego, pass it on, mijo. Anybody? Brenda? All right, Brenda. Help me grab the second one. Y equals mx plus b. Where do I start? So we're going to start with our beautiful y-intercept at -7. Which axis? X-axis or y-axis? Y-axis. So I'm going to start at -7 right here. Now my slope here is what? -1 over 4. So therefore, where's my next point? So 1 up and 4 to the left. Up 1, 4 to the left. And then 1 up, and then it continues on. Now, if I wanted to go with the procedure or the rise over fall, rise over run, I need to go down 1 and over to my right 4. Down 1 over to my right 4. And it continues on. Now, we did both ways because we need to see where they intersect, and it covers the entire parameters of our graph. So now that I have the entire graph posted there or graphed, we can go ahead and graph our beautiful line. There you go. Nice and beautifully done. Now, they do intersect. They have a solution. So what is my intersection here? My x. Oh. Now, my solution here is at what? -4, -6. My x value is -4. My y value is -6. So therefore, x equals -4. And my beautiful y equals -6. Woohoo! Okay, one more, guys. One more. And then I'll give you guys your beautiful homework. Okay, go ahead and try this one. Y equals 3x plus 5 and y equals negative 2 over 3x minus 6. You guys got this. All right, Marie, so help me out. How do I graph the first one? So my beautiful B for my first equation is positive 5 on which axis? Y. So I'm going to go ahead and graph it at my y-axis. Then from there, what do I do? My slope is 3. So how do I graph my next point? So I go 3 up, 1, 2, 3. 1. Now I don't have any more space for my next point. So how do I follow through with my bottom or my other points? Which is 1, 2, 3. 1 to the left. 1, 2, 3, and 1 to the left. Now I'm going to go ahead and proceed with the entire graph. So I make sure that it's covering every single point in the parameters. And I can see where the intersection is going to happen. So let me go ahead and graph it here. Grab my straight edge. And I graph my beautiful graph. Let me go ahead and fix mine. You guys can fix yours whenever you're graphing. There you go. All right. Thank you, Marie. Let's see who's going to help me next. So we're going to go ahead and start at my y-intercept, which is negative 6. On my x-axis or y-axis? Y-axis. Okay, perfect. Woo-hoo. And then what do I do next? 1, 2, and then over 3. Down 2, over 3. Do I see the whole intersection happening? Right? No, not yet. So I have to continue going. So what do I do with the next portion of the graph? There you go. 2 up and 3 to the right. So wait here. 2 up and 3 to the right. 2 up and 3 to the beautiful left. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3. There you go. All right. So let's go ahead and graph it. Where does the intersection happen? X is first. So it's negative 3 and negative 4. Raise your hand if you got that. Let's go. So therefore, x equals negative 3 and y equals negative 4. So my solution will be at those 2 points. All right, let me go ahead and give you guys your homework. Go ahead and stop this.
We're going home.
Your homework.